good, y'all? Kid Jerome here. Today I'm reviewing the second album and 9th project overall by Houston rapper Megan Thee Stallion, Traumazine. Megan has been all over my favorite songs lately. She's killing it. She's very in demand right now, and there's a lot of forces behind her music, especially for her second studio album, her sophomore album. So I was really excited about this one. I was anticipating it heavily, and I was really happy with what I heard. The first thing that really stood out to me were the instrumentals. They just sound really expensive. Like, they're really well polished. The low end is very impressive on these songs. The bass is very punchy. It hits very hard. The mixes, for the most part, live in pop rap. There's not too much going on any given track at any given time. There's not too many hugely dense walls of sound on these tracks, although there are a couple. A lot of this just is geared for easy listening. Megan isn't really trying to break the mold with this album, but she's trying to give us a solid rap album. And what more could we ask for? There's tons of attention-grabbing intros on this album. Like on Budget, it starts with the hook instead of building up to it. Sometimes it can be effective to sort of drown the listener in your environment rather than lead them to the water. Gift and the Curse starts with this piano beat, really drawing the listener in, and then boom, just smacking them with the low end, dropping this nasty, nasty beat. Megan does her thing. She's killing this song. Scary has this really spooky Halloween intro. It's a little goofy at first. This could easily be a very corny song if done poorly, but she killed it. The beat was actually really cool, and I'm glad that this song sort of grabbed my attention in that goofy way. Like, I didn't really mind it once the song got started. There's very little variation in rhythm and flows on this album. It's mostly just Megan doing her Megan thing. There's not too much branching out. That being said, I don't necessarily consider that a detriment to the album. I kind of appreciated that she was so focused in this one very specific way. I mean, Megan's a rapper. This is a rap album. She's rapping on rap songs. I really don't know what more I could possibly expect from her. I don't need an artist like Megan Thee Stallion to drop an experimental introspective album in 2022. I just really appreciate the rap album for what it was. I appreciate her focus. While any artist would benefit from branching out of their comfort zone, from experimenting a little bit, from widening their palette, I don't think that Megan needs to. I don't think that that's a requirement for any artist, especially one that is so clearly talented, has such a concise vision. Megan is perfectly fine just doing Megan stuff. I have no issue with it, and I love her for it. She's like an Olympic athlete with how hyper-focused she is on just rapping her heart out, and it shows. It really, really shows. Her lyrical content is pretty predictable. If you've ever listened to Megan up until this point, if you ever heard WAP, you kind of know what she's about. Most of the tracks were kind of like, I'm the shit and fuck you. It's not just braggadocio. It's not just building herself up. She's also tearing someone else down. It's very combative, very aggressive. Her flow is also very aggressive. Every song she does, it's just like she's spitting out the words. Not Nice shows her embracing sort of a villain persona. Like, I'm not likable and it's not really my problem. Plan B is sort of a gender bent, fuck bitches, get money. She has this female pimp sort of persona to her in Tina Snow, and this really comes out in full force on Plan B. Love Plan B. She's very sex positive, and she has a handful of songs in the album that reflect that, that sort of live in that subject matter, like Miss Nasty, Consistency. She's really trying to set the mood with these songs, and she does a good job of that too. Consistency has Jhené Aiko, and it sounds more like a Jhené Aiko song than a Megan song, but I loved it for that. In fact, all the features on this album were incredible. They were very well placed, extremely well placed. They all sounded at home in their individual tracks. Pooh Shiesty had a 2-minute trap song where he just had to lay down one incredible verse. On Scary, Rico Nasty killed it. She felt really at home on top of the spooky instrumental with the dark, daunting, sort of bone-chilling lyrics. It was fantastic. And on Pressurelicious, Future just did his thing. I mean, he's Future. And Megan almost struggled to keep up, but I mean, she never really struggles with anything she does. I appreciate how Future was able to push her to her limits to sort of take her into a different sonic landscape. I think they worked very well together on this track. I love the synergy of all the features on this album. There's a handful of forgettable tracks on this album. Not all of them are hits like Plan B. And there's a couple of tracks on this album that feel like they're hit baiting, such as Her. It's this female empowerment song, which is great. Females deserve empowering, but it kind of feels like an afterthought. Like sonically, there's not much happening. The song is very short. It feels like they were in a rush to get it done. Consistency feels, like I said earlier, like a Jhené Aiko song. It sort of lives in her world, and it almost feels like Megan was trying to ride her wave rather than work with her. I don't know. I don't want to be too negative, but I get this feeling when I feel like a song isn't genuine, and I'm not sure all these tracks were genuine Megan doing genuine Megan things. I feel like she may have been pressured into, making songs that the label wanted rather than her just doing her Megan thing. All in all, I had a really good time. Traumazine's a great album. There's a couple of forgettable tracks, but the standout tracks are some of Megan's best work to date. Easily. I had a really good time listening to the album, but I think it would have benefited from a little bit more focus. Some songs that really stood out to me were Plan B, Scary, and Gift and a Curse, especially this one. This song is crazy. I would recommend this album to fans of pop rap, anyone who's ever appreciated a Megan Thee Stallion verse, feature, whatever have you. It's a good representation of what she can do. And people who need a shot of feminine energy, I'm gonna give this album a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you thought about the album in the comments. Leave a like if you appreciate what I had to say. That really helps me out. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss my next video on Tuesday when I review Shake Your Moneymaker by the Black Crowes. So until then, peace.